there, happy Friday. Welcome to the Premier League preview show. I'm Josh, joined as always by Tom, and we're going to launch straight into two of only 5 games this weekend, because of course we've got the FA Cup matches. Just a quick note before we do jump in, just to say that I am going to be releasing my own selfie-style preview of United Wolves, and Tom, of course, will be doing his for Chelsea Everton as well. So those will be coming either, if not today, then certainly tomorrow. But yes, so Premier League matches. First of all then, Burnley v Leicester. Burnley down there in 17th. I know that, Tom, you said that before the season started, you thought that Burnley would struggle this season, perhaps in an Ipswich-esque style after they qualified for the UEFA Cup and then ended up actually getting relegated the season after. But where do you see this going? Of course, Leicester have their new manager, Brendan Rodgers. I believe they registered their first win under him last weekend. Burnley, as I said, 2 points off the relegation zone, 1 place off the relegation zone. The odds would suggest that they're in Leicester's favour, but where do you see this one going?
Well, it depends which Burnley turn up, because Burnley have been really hit or miss this season. They've played really well in small patches, but they've really, as you say, struggled to live up to last season. And I could see it happen with the lack of investment, obviously barring the goalkeeping department, where they probably didn't need it. It's a tough one because Rodgers is getting to know his players, and so there is a bit of a new manager bump there in form. Whereas like Deitch is more in trouble with relegation, so I could easily see Burnley, winning it at the King Power. But if I
think it's at Turf Moor, I believe.
Is it Turf Moor?
I think so.
No, it's at Turf Moor. Pardon me. If it's a Turf Moor, I'd probably put a £5 on Burnley to win it then. To be honest, it's tight and it's one of those I wouldn't want to put money on. But if I was forced to, I'd put it on Burnley.
Okay, I would probably have to go the opposite, actually. I mean, as you said, Leicester have the surge in form under their new manager. It happens all the time. We saw quite a lengthy period under Solskjaer. And I think that Leicester are going to... Well, they've already had their first win under Rodgers. I think they're going to see something similar. Of course, Southampton had that too. Huddersfield, to a little bit of an extent, had it. Obviously, Fulham under Scott Parker, not so much. We'll come on to Fulham in a moment. But, yeah, I think for all those reasons, I think Leicester have got the players. Perhaps that Claude Puel wasn't the right man with the right tactics for the players that he had. I think that Brendan Rodgers certainly is going to bring some more positivity to Leicester's play. Burnley just seems to be really burnt out at the moment, and I think if they don't get relegated, well, even if they do get relegated, whether they do or they don't, they're going to need a massive squad overhaul this summer. Just because, I mean, they signed Peter Crouch for some godforsaken reason. I know that he's got experience in the Premier League, but he's not exactly someone that's going to be there long term, is he? He's, 36 or 37? Yeah. I think they needed to invest more in players that are going to be ready for next season, wherever they may be, because I think that ultimately Burnley, as you said, whether they get relegated or not, are in trouble. For the squad that they've got and for the manager they've got, I don't think they should be in 17th really. No. So I do think that Leicester, on all of that really, will probably end up victorious. But on that note, Tom, score prediction.
Okay, I'm just going to address your point on Burnley quickly first. I think their success last season was overhyped a bit, because you've got to remember how poor the rest of those sort of top 10 clubs are. You look at your Leicesters. Leicester were very poor last season, so were Everton. And so, yeah, it was an achievement for them to come 7th. Of course it is. But I don't think they're as good as a lot of people said. And I think they probably were a bit of a victim of their own success. I'm going to say, simply because Burnley have more to play for, I'm going to go 1-0 to Burnley. A goal from an Ashley Barnes or someone like that.
Okay. Well, after your prediction about Juventus, Atletico Madrid, I'm not gonna argue too much with that. But yeah, just as a little rebuttal to your quick point, I get what you're saying about Burnley perhaps exceeding expectations and perhaps not quite being as good as their finish suggested. But ultimately, I don't think that it was that overstated that they're going to drop 10 places. I think, perhaps if you're going to overstate their performance from last season, maybe just outside the top half, but to be in 17th is something else altogether. But score prediction, I'm going to have to go for a Leicester win. I think that Leicester are, I wouldn't say they're the informed team, obviously they've only had 1 win, but I think that they're probably going to be experiencing, as I said, some the players are going to want to be impressing their manager even more. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Leicester win. So moving on to our second and final preview of the weekend, which is Fulham as they welcome Liverpool to Craven Cottage. Fulham, as I said, after sacking Claudio Ranieri, have installed Scott Parker, former player of Fulham, Scott Parker, as their interim manager, I believe, until the end of the season.
Did he play for Fulham, Scott Parker?
Yeah, for I think about 2 or 3 years. Yeah, when they got relegated, I think he was there. Anyway, yeah, so Fulham v Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool were chasing the title in second. Fulham battling relegation in second bottom. So, again, on paper, the result suggests one thing, but Premier League games are already played on paper. Where do you see this one going?
Never underestimate a dead man. That's all I'm going to say there. Fulham are pretty much down, I'm going to say. I think they've hired Parker as a sort of precursor to next season. But Liverpool should still beware. Look at Gus Poyet when he was at Sunderland, picking up incredibly weird results in 2013-14, like beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Was that with was it Ji Dong Won?
Oh,
was that it?
I think it was.
It was either him or he scored against Man City. One of the two.
No, it's a break from Connor Wickham.
Oh, okay.
It was awful, but it happens maybe once a year where a team who has nothing to play for will come out and beat a big boy and throw a huge spanner into the title race. And I can just see that happening today, if I'm honest, in that game. I mean, Liverpool just have to be very, very careful after their Champions League tie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, we don't know the result of that game. Praying for Bayern Munich wins, certainly I am anyway. But is this really, realistically, a banana skin match for Liverpool?
Yes, definitely.
Really?
Cottage is intimidating. And after that game at the Allianz could very easily go to 120 minutes. I really would not be surprised if it ended 0-0. And after 120 minutes, away at Craven Cottage in the Premiership, I could very easily see it being a draw. If not a defeat, maybe not a defeat. But remember, they've got players like Mitrovic who would be very, very up for it.
Okay, well, I think, if I'm honest with you, I think there's more chance of it being a goalless draw than Fulham scoring. Virgil van Dijk, I hadn't watched him properly this season. I in detail until they played United. And I was just amazed by how good he was. So I would be amazed if Fulham were to score. But on that note, again, it seems like you're going for a score draw there.
1-1.
Okay, I'm going to go for maybe a 3-0 Liverpool win. I just don't think Fulham have anything to give. I think they're resigned to their fates, and I see no reason for them to cause an upset, especially. I think Liverpool are going to go out the Champions League. Again, we don't know the result. So on that basis, I think that with the Premier League, all that there's left to play for them, as far as they're concerned, I think they're going to have to throw everything into that. And I can see a Liverpool win. So that does round off this week's previews. Now, if you remember yesterday, we had some very cryptic clues to this week's Guess Who, who's, as we said, a current Premier League player. So, Tom, just go over those clues again, please, and then please reveal the answer.
So he played alongside Raphael Varane, Wissam Ben Yedder and Didier Drogba, a Chelsea legend. He played under Arsenal's current manager, Unai Emery, and he twice won a domestic treble. But he didn't play for the red part of London, he didn't play for the blue part of London, but he currently plays for Tottenham Hotspur. It's Serge Aurier.
Ooh, Serge Aurier, one of the perhaps surprise transfers of the last time Spurs actually did any transfer business, which I think going back to summer 2017 now.
Goodness.
Yeah. Anyway,
that moment, mate.
Yeah, Serge Aurier. So well done if you did get that right. Kudos to you. Tom will be, of course, shouting you out on Twitter. Make sure, of course, you do leave your answer in the comments section below. That is all from Tom and I for today anyway. We'll be back tomorrow with the Retro Show as we delve into the midfielders, the midfielder part of the greatest foreigners ever to play in the Premier League and never finish in the top 4. And until then, thanks from me and thanks for Tom. Thanks for watching.